with a princess for a pal. Everyone will call me Al.
Why Al?
To rhyme, go with it.
Hello, I'm Liz. Welcome to Flashback Fairy Tale Theater. Today I'm recapping Episode 1, The Tale of the Frog Prince. We'll start with some background info, and then we'll get into the story. The Tale of the Frog Prince aired on September 11th, 1982. It was written, directed, and narrated by Eric Idle, with Robin Williams as the frog, Terry Garr as the princess, Renee Auberjonois as King Ulrich, Candy Clark as Queen Gwyneth, Roberta Maxwell doubling as the crone and Queen Beatrice, and this racist comedian as King Geoffrey. The costume and set design was inspired by illustrator Maxwell Parrish. Now, the original tale starts out with the meeting of the princess and the frog, but Eric Idle decided to expand on it and give us some background on the frog's curse. A king and queen are having trouble conceiving, so they see a crone who gives them a potion to help. All she asks in return is to attend the christening as the child's godmother. The king and queen forget to invite her, and she returns the favor by cursing their child into a frog.
She was quite mild for her. What is it, Gwyneth?
My child!
Years pass, and we meet a princess in a neighboring kingdom, a vain and snobby gal who is betrothed to the Frog Prince's brother.
Whatever makes them think that I would want to marry a man whose only pleasure is murdering large, scaly, fire-breathing animals, huh?
The families get together for a tea party, where her future in-laws give the princess a magical golden ball. She admires the ball in her garden, where she meets the titular frog. When the princess drops the ball in the well, the frog offers to retrieve it if the girl promises to be his friend, including dinner and a sleepover.
You've got yourself a deal.
Huzzah! Oh, you're not going to regret this.
The princess tries to wriggle out of this promise, but her father insists that it's a royal's duty to keep their promises, especially when it comes to the lower classes. The frog wines and dines with them and impresses the entire court with his showmanship and wit.
Oh, pardon me, but I seem to have a human caught in my throat.
At night, when the frog saves the princess from a scorpion, she finally rewards him with a kiss. The kiss transforms the frog into his rightly prince form, and after some very silly misunderstandings from her father, they live happily ever after. Robin Williams and Terry Garr are the highlight performances of this episode. It's clear they let Williams riff on the script, as a lot of the jokes fit right in with his comedy style.
Look at that! Look at that staircase! Early perpendicular!
Garr holds her own too, bringing a great contrast of fire and prissiness to the princess. She and Williams have great chemistry. This feels impressive because you figure they must have filmed these frog scenes separately to make the effect of him being smaller. But I also wonder if they were somehow doing it at the same time because the dialogue goes back and forth between them with no hitches.
I know, you're scared.
No, I'm thinking.
Yes, it's too deep for you.
No, too deep? No, it's doodah for a frog.
The frog has a song about friendship, and it made me laugh because I could picture Friend Like Me being dropped into the script and fitting in pretty well. I found the costume and set design for this episode kind of a drag. It captures the artistic style of Maxwell Parrish 100%, but how could you put the gorgeous Terry Garr in this horrible sack dress? Especially when the other women in the show are wearing fitted bodices. As far as the script goes, I like Idle's expansion on the original tale. While it may feel like he's ripping off some other fairy tales with his backstory, it's actually really common in these old tales to see those motifs repeated and repeated. I also thought his theme of keeping your promise and looking after the little guy justified a lot of the bizarre actions of the king and other characters in the original tale. However, I did find some of the comedy hit or miss. A lot of the dialogue snaps and crackles, but some of the physical comedy was a little muddy, and some characterization a little over the top for me, even for a kid's show. That being said, seeing a bunch of famous faces doing children's theater essentially was very charming, especially as someone who has done lots of children's theater.
What on earth time is it? The time is 11:30 precisely.
How about some things that make you go, yikes? Robin's terrifying frog mask. Yeah! This feels a little ableist, am I right? This moment of near child abuse.
I'm going to thrash some respect into you, you vain, selfish, spoiled, frog-murdering little princess! No! Who said that?
Plus, this episode is horny as fuck.
He has the brains of a shrimp.
He's got a good body.
Will you be quiet?
Listen, sweetheart, I got your ball for you.
Maybe you could, just kiss me again to make sure that I don't turn back into a frog.
How about a fun fact? Idle wrote in a scene in which the frog almost ends up as dinner due to an overzealous French chef. And René Aubergenois, who plays King Ulrich in this episode, later voiced Chef Louis in a very similar scene in The Little Mermaid. If you want to watch the full episode, it's available on YouTube. And if you visit the link in my bio, I have some of the sources I used to research this episode. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the Tale of the Frog Prince.